Quick reminder, before we begin, please silence all electronics and remain silent for the rest of the competition. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Jose Garcia. I am a senior here at Southeast High School. Welcome to our 7th annual Poetry Out Loud competition. Thank you for supporting our 6 students who are competing today for an opportunity to represent our school at the statewide Poetry Out Loud competition next month at UCO. First, I would like to introduce our judges. Shelby Marks. Ms. Marks is the teen librarian for the Del City Public Library. She earned her master's degree in library and information studies from the University of Alabama. She has spent her career planning and providing services for teens in the community. Dr. Anastasia Wickham. Dr. Wickham is a professor of English at the University of Central Oklahoma and program coordinator for English education. She has taught at middle school and high schools and loves young fiction adult. Next, we have Haley Waugh. Ms. Waugh holds a Master's of Arts in Poetry and works in marketing and communications. And last but not least, our very own Miss Littleton, who is the accuracy judge today. And also Miss Whitworth, who will be the prompter today. We would also like to give extra thanks to Mr. Stevens and his 7th hour students for their excellent work so that this program could be live streamed. Also, thank you to the tech crew who are working and operating today's lights and audio. And to Riley Wilcox, who designed and created the trophies in Mr. Johnson's class. Today, there will be 2 rounds today. Each student will recite 1 poem each round. Please hold your applause until the competition is over. Again, thank you for coming to support our students. The first poem will be read by Stephanie Madrano.
I'm offering this poem by Jamie Santiago Baca. I'm offering this poem to you since I have nothing else to give to you. Keep it like a warm coat when winter comes to cover you, or like a pair of thick socks the cold cannot bite through. I love you. I have nothing else to give you, so there's a pot full of yellow corn to warm your belly in winter. There's a scarf for your head to wear over your hair, to tie up around your face. I love you. Keep it. Treasure this as you would if you were lost, needing direction. In the wilderness, life becomes wind mature. In the corner of your dresser, tucked away like a cabin or hogan in dense trees, come knocking, and I will answer. Give you directions, and let you warm yourself by this fire. Rest by this fire, let you feel safe. That is all I have to give, and all anyone needs to live. And to go on living inside when the world outside no longer cares if you live or die. Remember, I love you.
Next up, For our second contestant, we have Michaela Lambert.
The Light the Dead Sea by Frank Stanford. There are many people who come back after their doctor has smoothed the sheet around their body and left the room to make his call. They die, but they live. They are called the dead who live through their deaths, and among my people, they are considered wise and honest. They float out of their bodies and light on the ceiling like a moth, watching the efforts of everyone around them. The voices and the images of the living fade away. A roar sucks them under the wheels of a darkness without pain. Off in the distance, there is someone, like a signalman, swinging a lantern. The light grows a white flower. It becomes very intense, like music. Then they see the faces of those they loved, the truly dead who speak kindly. Then they see their father sitting in a field. The harvest is over and his cane chair is mended. There's a towel around his neck, the odor of bay rum. Then they see their mother standing behind him with a pair of shears. The wind is blowing, she is cutting his hair. The dead have told these stories to the living.
Next up, Joey Johnson.
That's My Heart Right There by Willie Perdomo. We used to say, that's my heart right there, as if to say, don't mess with her right there, as if, don't even play, that's a part of me right there. In other words, okay, that's the start of me right there. As if, come that day, that's the end of me right there. As if, push come to shove, I would fend for her right there. As if, come what may, I would lie for her right there. As if, come love to pay, I would die for that right there.
Next up, Veronica Hobbs.
The Albatross by Kate Bass. When I know you are coming home, I put on this necklace. Glass beads on a silken thread, a blue that used to match my eyes. I like to think I am remembering you. I like to think you don't forget. The necklace lies heavy on my skin. It clatters when I reach down to lift my screaming child. I swing her, roll her in my arms until she forgets. The beads glitter in the flicker of a TV set as I sit her in my lap and wish away the afternoon. I wait until I hear a gate latch lift. The turn of key and lock. I sit amongst toys and unwashed clothes. I sit and she fingers the beads until you speak. In a voice that no longer seems familiar. only strange. I turn as our child tugs at the string. I hear a snap and a sound like falling rain.
Next up, Cassandra Carrasco.
Domestic Situation by Ernest Hilbert. Maybe you heard about this, maybe not. A man came home and chucked his girlfriend's cat in the wood chipper. This really happened. Dinner wasn't ready on time. A lot of other little things went wrong. He spat on her father, who came out when he learned about it. He also broke her pinky, stole her checks, and got her sister pregnant. But she stood by him, stood strong through it all, because she loved him. She loved him, you see. She actually said that. And then she went and married him. She felt some unique call. Don't try to understand what another person means by love. Don't even bother.
All right, next up, Anastasia Slaughter.
Grief by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. I tell you, hopeless grief is passionless, that only men in credulous despair, half taught in anguish through the midnight air, beat upward to God's throne in loud access of shrieking and reproach, full desertness in souls as countries, leaf, silent bare, under the blanching vertical eye glare of the absolute heavens. Deep-hearted man, grief for thy dead in silence, like to death, most like a monumental statue set, in everlasting watch, in moveless woe, till itself crumble to the dust beneath. Touch it, the marble eyelid is not wet. If it could weep, it could arise and go.
The contestants will now read their second poem. Upcoming, Stephanie Madrano.
That's My Heart Right There by Willie Perdomo. We used to say, that's my heart right there, as if to say, don't mess with her right there. As if, don't even play, that's part of me right there. In other words, okay, that's the start of me right there. As if come that day, well, that's the end of me right there. As if push come to shove, I would fend for her right there. As if come what may, I would lie for her right there. As if come love to pay, I would die for that right there.
Up next, Michaela Lambert.
Winter by Marie Ponsot. I don't know what to say to you, neighbor, as you shovel snow from your part of our street, neat in your Greek black. I waited for the chance to find words, and now, by chance, we meet. We took our boys to the same kindergarten 13 years ago when our husbands went. Both boys hated school, dropped out Pharaoh, dropped into separate troubles. You shift snow fast, back bent. But your boy killed himself. 6 days dead. My boy washed your wall when the police were done. He says, "We weren't friends," and shakes his head. I told him it was great he had that gun, and shakes. I shake. Close to you, close to you. You have a path to clear, and so you do.
Up next, Joey Johnson.
Beg approval by T.C. Tolbert. Because the only view we have is the one that looks down on the knees. Praise perspective, praise shared disdain, praise space made by connective tissue, the synaptic cleft, elbow room at the dinner table, polite conversation, the lies you push through your teeth. Because dissecting a dog's heart won't change the way it thinks. Praise redirected traffic. Praise the gnarled lip that defends the gentle bones. Because your mother was a seahorse, and to think of her thin is to empty all the ice from the tea glasses, to strain the soup by driving it through your hand. Praise tablecloths, swayback chairs, the plastic folds that protect slice after slice of cheese.
Up next, Veronica Hobbs.
Self-Help by Michael Ryan. What kind of delusion are you under? The life he hid just knocked you flat. You see the lightning, but not the thunder. What God hath joined, let no man put asunder. Did God know you'd marry a rat? What kind of delusion are you under? His online persona simply stunned her, as it did you when you started to chat. You see the lightning, but not the thunder. To the victors go the plunder. You should crown them with a baseball bat. What kind of delusion are you under? The kind that causes blunder after blunder. Is there any other kind than that? You see the lightning, but not the thunder. And for 1 second, the world's a wonder. Just keep it thrilling under your hat. What kind of delusion are you under? You see the lightning, but not the thunder.
Up next, Cassandra Carrasco.
Life and a Love by Robert Browning. Escape me? Never. Beloved, while I am I and you are you, so long as the world contains us both, me, the loving, and you, the loath, while the one eludes, must the other pursue. My life is a fault at last, I fear. It seems too much like a fate indeed. Though I do my best, I shall scarce succeed. But what if I fail of my purpose here? It is but to keep the nerves at strain, to dry as one's eye and laugh at a fall, and baffled, get up and begin again. So the chase takes up one's life, that's all. Wow, look but once from your farthest bound at me so deep in the dust and dark. No sooner the old hope goes to ground than a new one, straight to the selfsame mark. I shape me, ever removed.
Up next, Anastasia Slaughter.
Always Something More Beautiful by Stephen Dunn. This time, I came to the starting place with my best running shoes and pure speed. Held back for the finish came with only love of the clock and the underfooting and the other runners. Each of us would be testing excellence and endurance in the other. Though in the past, I'd often veer off to some feral distraction, allowing myself to pursue something odd or beautiful. Becoming acquainted with a few ways not to blame myself for failing to succeed. I had come to believe what's beautiful had more to do with daring to take yourself seriously, to stay the course, whatever the course might be. The person in front seemed ready to fade as his long, graceful stride shortening, as I came up along his side. I was sure now I'd at least exceed my best time. But the man with the famous final kick had already begun his move. Beautiful, I heard a spectator say, as if something inevitable about to come from nowhere was again on its way.
That concludes the competition for the poems. Now, the judges will continue scoring.
Thank you for remaining. The results are incredibly close. Incredibly close. I think we should give a round of applause for all of our contestants. Truly, truly. We'll go third, second, and first place. Third place, Anastasia Slaughter. Yeah, I think she went home. Okay. In second place, Joey Johnson. And this year's first place winner in our Poetry Out Loud contest, Cassandra Carrasco.
Great job, you did so good. Do I do a speech or?
You want to say something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to say that I've been up against with people with a lot of talent, and even though it's first place, everybody deserves what they deserved, and I'm super proud that I could compete against someone who's so amazing, and all my other competitors. Good job, your poems were amazing, and I can't wait to do it next year. Thank you so much to the judges for coming. I really appreciate it, and thank you. Thank you for coming. Come next year, okay?
All right, thank you. Thanks. Okay. All right, good.
And that concludes the competition.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the advice. I appreciate it.
Mr. Hood's gonna, congratulations next month, so we all have to get together. Okay, so if we can have some photos.
Well, why you gotta play sad music?
Thank you so much.